I was diagnosed with chronic liver disease when I was 6 years old. That means your liver is scarred. It is scarred past the point of return. So cirrhosis is not always linked to alcohol, because anyone's liver can turn cirrhotic from a form of liver disease or from fatty liver disease. It can be caused by lots of different reasons, not just alcohol. So I was not pregnant. I have never been pregnant, and obviously with how ill I was at the time, I don't even think it'd be possible for my body to get pregnant. I was diagnosed with liver disease when I was 6. I turned jaundice, which basically means when you turn yellow. I was quite fortunate because a lot of childhood liver diseases can actually be really serious and can develop quite quickly and can make children very, very ill. I started getting ascites, which is fluid in your stomach. It was making my stomach extremely huge. I look pregnant. People do mistake you for being pregnant. It's one of the worst side effects you can have. It's extremely uncomfortable. I was being drained every 2 weeks, which basically is a big fat needle in the side of your stomach. So I was in hospital for a while after my transplant whilst they figured out what to do. There was obviously mention of a third transplant because there is a blood clot in my liver currently, so they thought that I was going to get really unwell. I think since being at hospital I've recovered really, really well. I really don't understand this comment because this is such a vile way to talk about organ donation. Organ donation is a choice for the donor and their family. They can make this decision obviously a long time before they pass, and it is a decision that you can opt out of. You do not have to donate your organs. So if you don't want to, then that is your choice, and I'm not judging you for not donating your organs. But to actually say that it's butchering a corpse is quite disgusting, because that person has chosen to help other people and to save other people's lives with their organs. There are so many misconceptions around organ donation, like things like they're going to use your organs to experiment on and they're going to try less hard to save you. That is so not true. That is ethically and morally wrong. That just doesn't happen, and I just think this is disgusting. And now I can see that it's a little bit confusing because obviously I look pregnant and then it looks like I've got this newborn baby whilst I've had liver transplant. But I don't want to give out any misinformation or for anyone to think that, you can be pregnant and have children whilst having organ transplants. You can't. If you're on the list, you can't get pregnant. You would be taken off the list. So yeah, just to clear that up, not my baby.
I literally have never heard of that before. I've heard of liver disease and the side effects it can give you, but I've never noticed that you can get a really bad bloat on your stomach. And it must be really hard as well, at a really young age, finding out you have liver failure, you get cuts, you're on a third transfer. It's a lot to take in, and she's very informative. Watching that, I was like, wow, I didn't know any of this. It's very eye-opening, and I like the fact she chopped that comment down. She was like, do not talk about someone's dead body like that. It's horrific that there's not much more out there that we can do to prevent this, but I think if you can donate your organs or you don't want to, you're still incredible either way. I think stories like this is just really inspiring, and it must be really difficult to take on as well, the bloating and people thinking you're pregnant. You're like, no, I'm not pregnant, just have a really bad disease. And to be on the waiting list as well, the NHS is just so long, so you don't know when you're gonna get this transplant. But yeah, that was really informative. And some comments are just so ignorant as well. It's literally someone's family member and they're wanting to do a really kind thing and help women or men like this, or children. But yeah, it must be really hard to go from really underweight to overweight to having the really bad side effects of the skin change, the eye changes. It's just a lot, and you feel like your life is just on a pause, don't you? You can't go out and go with your friends, you can't go on dating lives, you just can't do much because all you're doing is just waiting for this hospital. It's just very inspiring, and I feel really sorry for her, and I hope that she can get this transfer, and also none of this can happen anymore and go away. But I don't really know how this all works. But yeah, that was really inspiring to watch.